Hello everyone, I am Govardhan. Today we are going to develop this 2048 game. As you can see, this is some pretty good game. In this project we are going to use HTML, CSS and JavaScript and some pretty good animation stuff. Let me start. First I will need a HTML file. I will name it as index.html. Then I will need CSS file. I will name it as style.css. Then I will need a JavaScript file. I will name it as script.js. And also we need an extension, live server. This server hosts our project that we are going to develop. I already installed it. If you haven't installed, please go and install. Let me start my project. I will do first HTML. I will create a div named as board game. As you can see, this is a grid and it has 16 shells, 4 rows and 4 columns. I will need to create a 16 shells here. Let me create it. Let me copy it. I will need it 16 times. Okay, then I will link this HTML file to my CSS, style.css. I will code CSS now. Let me go into style.css file. We'll start with before after star comma space star before after. I will give box sizing. Border box. Next I will give font as Arial. Next I will go for body. Background color, let me give background color as star 333. Next I will display it as flex. Now let me code for CSS for this board game. Hash board game. I will display a grid. Then I will create a grid template. Columns. Repeat. There are 4 columns. Let me give size as 20 women. And I also need grid template rows. Let me change it here. Rows. Let me give a background color. We'll give it as triple C. Next I will code for this shell. Let's go dot shell. I will give background color first. I will give background color as AAA. Then I will give background radius. Let me give it 1 vmin. Let me open it. Open with live server. Looks like there is some mistake in my CSS file. Oh sorry, I have to give a dot here. Yeah, see, we can get grid that we needed. Let me go for next steps. I want my body to be in center, so let's get it into the center. Justify content to be in center. Next, align items should be in center. Yeah, next you can see that it is moved little bit center towards center. Next I will give some height. Let me give 100 ph. Yeah, now our grid was placed in center. This is what we needed. Let me give some margin also. Margin should be 0. Next I will give font size. Let me give some random number, 7.5 vmin. The reason that I am using vmin means, see, you can it will adjust to the shape of my browser. See, it was adjusting itself. That's why I am using vmin. Now let's make this game little bit more attractive. Let me give border radius here. Border radius, let me give it 1 vmin. Now let me give padding here. Padding 2 vmin. Now let me give position here. Position should be relative. See guys, this position relative, it helps for animation guys. See, we are moving, right? See how they are moving. This one helps for creating these animation movements. Okay, let's make this 420 vmin as variables for easily accessing. Okay, let me create some variables in CSS. In CSS we create variables by dash grid size. Our variable name is grid size. I will give it as 4. Next, our next variable is let me copy this and paste for it. Our next variable is cell size. It is 20 women. Our next variable is shell gap. Let me change it here. It was also 20 women. Sorry, it was 2 women. Next, give variables. I will assign variables here. So variable of variable dash dash. It is grid size. Here variable of it is cell size. Let me copy it and paste it here, and I will change it to rows. That will be easy. And I will change this to variable of cell gap. Here also same thing, variable of cell gap. Let me create a tile here. Dot tile. For this, first I need to should be present in index.html tile. I will give a number 2. Okay, it should be in top, so I will make it position absolute. Next, I want it to be in center. For this, I need to display flex and justify. Content should be in center. Next, align items. It also should need to be in center. Next, I have to give width and height. Let me give a variable cell size. Height, it also variable of cell size. See, it was aligned in center. Next, I want to give background color. Let me give any background color red. Just I'm giving a random background color now. I will change it later. Next, I have to give background radius. Sorry, it was border radius 1 women. Next, I have to move this style. For this, I need to do little bit maths in this CSS. Let me do it. Calculate. I have to create a 2 variables here. Let them give 0. Okay, let's do calculations. Value of xx variable of cell size plus variable of cell gap. Oh, there is a mistake. It should be variable. Don't forget to give gaps here, guys. Gaps are very important in calculations. Let me calculate here. Let me copy it. It was left. Let me change it to X. Okay, see guys, I will change these values now. You can see there is a change will occur. See, our tile moves from here to here based on the X and Y values. See, it was not still perfectly sit in this position. Let me add cell gap here, then it may place perfectly. Variable of cell gap. Here also same thing, plus variable of cell gap. Yeah, you can see now guys, it was perfectly placed. Now let me change font weight. Font weight should be bold. The 2 became bold. Now let me change background color. See guys, here 2 have very light background, 4 have little bit high background color, 8 have little bit more. So according to the power, the background color will change. So we have to keep it in mind and give the background color. Let me give. For that one we have to use this one guys, HSL 200, 50%. I will giving opacity as 50%, variable of, here we are giving variable called background lightness. Background lightness. Let me create the variable first. Background lightness. Let me give it as 80%. See, next I will give, see for the here the numbers also little bit changing based on the power. So let me give color for the numbers also. HSL of 200. Let me give 25% opacity here, variable of text lightness. Let me create a variable text lightness. Give it as 20%. See guys, here you can see it will change based on the number present in it. We will see all these things in the JavaScript guys. We will pass X value, Y value, background lightness, text lightness in the JavaScript. I will show it there. Next I will See guys, here when we are moving, there is little bit of animation was occurring. See, when two 8s are merged, they create a little bit of animation guys. For that one we have to use animation, show 200 milliseconds, ease in out. Now let me refresh it. Here let me give keyframes at the rate keyframes show 0%, opacity let me give it 0.5, and transform scale as 0. See guys, now let me refresh it. See, you can observe this animation slide, right? And also we have to give transition. I will give it 100 milliseconds, ease in out. Okay guys, let's get into the JavaScript. Before that, we have to delete these values, these variables. All these variables we will take care in JavaScript. So let me delete all these variables. And also let me delete this tile here. Now let's get into the JavaScript. I will link JavaScript file here. Script src is equals to script.js, type is equals to module, let me close it. Okay, here you can see this whole board game is a grid and there are cells present in it, and in every cell there is a tile. So we need to create another JavaScript file. Let me create it as grid.js. First export default class grid constructor will pass grid elements in the constructor. Okay, now let's quit into the script.js file. Let me import grid here. Import grid from /grid.js. We have to type grid.js. Okay, let's create const board game is equals to document dot get elementary id by board game. And also create const grid is equals to new grid of board game. Okay, let's again open grid.js file. Now here we have to set these values. See, here we have used grid size, cell gap variables. So we have to pass these values here. First create const grid size is equals to 4. Next const cell size is equals to 20. Next const cell gap is equals to 2. These are the values that we are used in style.css file. Remember, we have removed the values from here. Okay, let's get into the constructor. Here we say grid element dot style dot set property grid size. Grid size. Let's copy it 3 times. See, remember, this is grid size variable that we are used here. In the same way, we are creating that for variable cell size and cell gap. Let's get into here. Here we create for cell size. Cell size. Here this is cell size. Sorry, it should be small. Here we have to mention dollar because we are giving units here. That is women. Also okay, it is a cell gap. Towards women. Okay. Now let's create a function. Let's create a function to create cell elements. I have to pass grid elements here. Let me create a array called cells. And here we are going to use for loop. For let I is equals to 0, I less than grid size to grid size. Comma I plus plus. See, here we are creating a cell for this cells for this grid. Here you can see there are 16 shells. So here grid size was 4 into 4, 16. We are creating 16 cells through for loop. Okay, let's create it. Const cell is equals to document dot create elements element div cell dot class list dot add cell. We are adding cell here. Now we are also pushing it to the array that we created above. Cells dot push cell, and also we are appending to the grid element. Grid element dot append cell, and finally we are returning cells. And also here we need to create the class shell. In this we are passing cell element to the constructor, element comma x comma y, this dot cell element is equals to cell element, this dot x is equals to x, this dot y is equals to y, should be in next line. Okay, now in this one we have to map this dot cells is equals to create cell elements grid element dot map cell element comma index is equals to here returning new cell. This one we have cell element comma index modulus grid size. It means if think that we have an index of 6. For index of 6 modulus index grid size, that is equals to 2. So it will take a row 2, comma. For next one we have to take index slash grid size. So if we take index as 6 by grid size, 6 by 4 1.4 1.5. So we have to make it to the floor. For that we have use math.floor. Okay. Oh, looks like we have an error here. I have to don't use flower brackets here. I have to use curly braces. Let me change this. We have one more error. Yeah, here we have to close it. I forgot that. Okay, now I want to make this variables cells. I want to make this as a private variable, so it should be only accessible inside this class only. We cannot able to modify it's outside this class. Let me change this. For that one we have to simply just add hash before this one, and also I need to call this in class hashtag shells, and I'm also going to change this cell element x and y also. Let me change this hashtag cell element hashtag x hashtag y. Let me change here also. So we make these variables as a private variables. Yeah, we have done lot of work. Now we go for see, every time we refresh this page, 2 tiles are generating, either it be 2 or 4. So we need to create this. For this we have to create another JavaScript file named as tile.js. Let me go for script.js file, and we need to import it here. Import tile from tile.js. Okay, now let me create those 2 tiles here. Grid dot random empty cell dot tile is equals to new tile of board game. Let me copy it once again, because we need 2 tiles generated at every time when we refresh them. Okay, let me go into grid.js file. Now we have to create a random empty cell here. So let me go on to grid class. I will create a random empty cell here. Random empty cell, and also we need to get these empty cells. For that also we need to create another get empty cells. It is a private variable. Let me return this dot cells dot filter cell use rise to cell dot tile is equals to null. We are returning the empty cells with null value. Okay. Let me go into the cell class, and here I will create a private variable named as tile. And also here I will create a variable to get tile return this dot tile. I am simply returning this tile. I have created a getter. Now I will create a setter. Set tile this dot tile is equals to value. Let me give value here. If value is equals to null, I will simply return. I don't do anything. If there is any value, I will change that to another value. Sorry, x is equals to this dot x. Copy it. This is y. Let me go into random empty cell. We will get a random number here. Let me give it as random index is equals to math dot floor of math that random multiplied by this dot empty cells dot length. Here we are getting a random number between 0 to the empty cells length. So we are returning this dot empty cells random index. So this is it. Now let me go into the tile.js file. Here first we need to export default class tile. I will create a private variables here. I will give name as tile element x y and a value. and also I will create a constructor. I will pass tile container, comma value that was is equals to math dot random so there is a 50% chance for getting 2 and 4. Every time we refresh this page we will get 2 tiles. There is a chance of 50% for getting a 2 or 4. So I am giving this here. There is a 50% chance for getting either 2 or 4. Looks like there is an error. Looks like, oh, I forgot to close the bracket. Now it's okay. Let me get the element, this dot tile element is equals to document dot create element of div. Next we are going to this dot hashtag tile element is equals to dot class. We are adding it to the list. Class list dot add tile. Tile container dot append this dot hashtag tile element, this dot value is equals to value. Yeah, we created a constructor. Now we are going to set this x value and y value. We create a setter for this. Set x value, this dot x is equals to value, and this dot tile element dot style dot set property of xx comma value. Yes guys, we are given a x value in our style.css, right? Maybe you forgot it. See, here we are given y value and x value. We are passing it here. So in the same way we are going to do it for y value. Let me copy it. Same for y value. Okay, that's it. Now let me create the same thing for this background lightness and text lightness. Let's get into tile.js. First getter, set value, return this dot value. Next I will use setter, set value of v. This dot value is equals to v. This dot tile element dot text content is equals to v. Const power is equals to math dot log 2 of v. See guys, as you can see here, see the background color of the tile is depends on the number. See this is 2 power 1, so it has light background color. This is 2 power 2, it has little bit more background color. This is 2 power 4, it has higher background color. So we are getting the power here. Power is equals to math dot log 2 of v. So if it is 2 means we have 2 power 1, it means 1, we will get little bit light background color. If it was 4 means then it was 2 power 2, this power becomes 2, then it has little bit more background color. Then if it was more like 3 4, the background color will increase. This is how we are going to build it. Next, go for const background lightness is equals to 100 minus power of into 9. So this is the formula that we are using to calculate the background lightness. Next, I will set the property this dot tile element dot style dot set property so I will copy it from CSS, this variable background lightness, set property of background lightness, comma dollar background lightness vmin. Sorry, it was percentage. Next, this dot tile element dot style dot set property. I will set the text lightness now. So CSS lightness. So if background lightness was less than 50 means we are going to give a text lightness 90%. If it was not less than 50 means then the background text lightness was 10%. This is how we are going to set the background color. Looks like I made a mistake again. Here are not cover brackets, it's curly braces. Let me change that. Okay, it was okay. Let me show our project now. It was not still visible. Maybe there is some mistake we have done. Instead of this get element by ID, we will use query selector. Let me use it. Query selector board game. Yeah, here you can see we got our game. Now we have did a lot of things. See, at every, if we refresh means we are getting 2 new tiles. See, this is our game. Yeah, so far we have done only a little bit. Now we have to move these tiles and we create an animation to play this game. Now we are going to set up the input. Like if we see here, we are going to move right, move left and sideways. We are going to set up this input in our project. Let me create a function, set up input. Function. Input window dot add event listener key down comma handle input now once true. So we are going to take the input through this function and we are going to wait for completing the action. So after that only we are going to take another input. So let me create a function for handling input. Function handle input. Function handle input. I'm using switch e.key. Here I am going to give cases. Case. For moving up, I am going to use arrow up. Double quotes. Here I am going to move up and break. So in the same way So in the same way we have arrow down. So for arrow down we are going to move down. In the same way we have move left and move right. Arrow left, we can move left. For arrow right, we will move right. And also I'm gonna create a default case and a break. So default means we are not entered any input or waiting for input. It means our project is ready to accept the input. So let me set up input here. Set up input. Next, even if you did not perform any actions, our project is ready to take the input. So here also, outside of this loop also, we are giving setup input. Next, we are gonna create function for this move up, move down, move left and move right. Let me first create a function for move up. Function move up. In this function we are gonna return slide tiles, grid dot, cells by column. Yeah guys, when we are moving up, you can see that when you are moving up, your cells are moving by columns. They are moving up by columns. So we are taking cells by column here. That I will also create slide tiles and cells by columns later. Okay, now let's get into this grid.js. Here let me first get cells here. Return this dot cells. Next I am going to create this one, cells by column. Okay, let me create it here. Get cells by column. In this one we are going to use return this dot cells dot reduce cell grid comma cell. Going to create a function here. We are going to map it. This we have one more bracket. Okay, here we are going to give cell grid cell dot x is equals to cell dot x or empty array. Cell grid cell dot x cell dot y is equal to cell, and finally we gonna return cell grid. We are going to return cell grid. That's it. Here we are going to we are mapping it, this guys. We are mapping these cells to see. Here we are cell grid comma cell dot x value, y value. We are mapping the values here. This cell was 16, 8, and they like this. We are mapping the values here, and also we need, for this here we need to use getter to get the value of x and y. Let me get it here. Get x bracket return this dot x, and also we need to get y return this dot y. Now I will go back to script.js file, and here see we created cells by column. We need to create it for slide tiles. Let me create a function for slide tiles here. Okay, let me create a function. Slide tiles. This we are gonna give cells as an input, and here for each we are going to loop it here for each. For each group, here we are going to use one more loop for let I is equals to 0, I less than group dot length I plus plus. We are going to create a constant called cell is equals to group of I. Next we are if cell dot tile is equals to null. We are gonna continue, means we are gonna stop the loop here. If the cell was empty, means we are going to stop it here. We are not continuing this slide tile function. Okay, next let me create a variable called last valid cell. Last valid. Next again I'm gonna create a loop, inner loop here. Let j is equals to I minus 1 comma j greater than or equals to 0. We are gonna decrease j here. Const move to cell is equals to group of j. if not move to cell can accept cell dot tile, we are gonna break last valid cell is equals to move to cell. See guys, here we are just doing if the move to cell cannot accept means see here we are moving, right? Here there is a 4, here there is a 8. So for example, I'm gonna try to move to left here. Let me move here. Let me move. See here, if I am trying to move to left, here there is 4 to 8. So we are trying to move to left, but these cells are can't accepting, so we are not sliding here. That's why we are using break here. If there is any valid cell, we are gonna move, means if there is any empty cell or same number, means we are gonna merge it. That's how it works. Let me code if last valid cell is not equals to null, if last valid shell dot tile is not equals to null, we are gonna give last valid. Let me move up, we are gonna merge it, merge tile is equals to cell dot tile. Else last valid shell equals to cell dot tile. And finally we are gonna return cell dot tile is equals to null. So here we are checking guys, we are checking for if the last valid cell is not null. If it was not null, means we are gonna merge it, means let me show you here. Here let me show you. See here there are 2 cells. If you are gonna click move down, they both are merged. See, once again I will click, they both are merged. See, if the last valid cell is not means it was not null and it was valid cell means same number, then they are going to merge. If there is any empty cell, means this is also last valid cell, it is an empty cell. If there is an empty cell, means if we move here, see, let me move to right. If I move here, then the last valid cell will become the value. See, this one is moved here, this value becomes 4. So this is what we are doing here. If the last valid cell are same, means we are gonna merge it. If the last valid cell is empty, means we are gonna move it to the, we are gonna assign this cell value to the last valid cell. That's how it's gonna work. Next we are gonna create a function for this can I accept and merge tile. Let me do it. Let me again go into the grid.js. Looks like there was some error. Yeah, here we didn't close it. Sorry, not here. Yeah, our error was rectified. Now let me get into the script.js, and I will create can I accept tile here. We'll create a can I accept tile here. Can I accept tile. We are gonna return this dot tile is equals to null, or this dot merge tile is equals to null, and this dot tile dot value is equals to tile dot value. Let me give bracket here, but there was no confusion. Okay. Looks like I done a mistake here. I have to use curly braces, not flower brackets. I am again doing this mistake. Okay. Now let me create get and set for merge tiles. Get merge tile. Return this dot merge tile. Sorry, here we are not created merge tile variable. Yeah, we created it now. Make sure to check the spelling. Yeah, now we got it. Now I'm gonna set merge tile. I'll give a value. I'm gonna take this dot merge tile is equals to value. If value equals to null, I'm gonna return null. We are gonna set it. This dot merge tile dot x is equals to this dot x. Same here. Let the change. I will change x to y. Yeah. Here we are doing animation, guys. See, while we are moving these values, see these x and y values coordinates are changing, right? We are assigning them, and this can I accept tile working as if the tile was empty, then we are able to access the next tile, guys. See, this is empty, right? When I'm moving, it was accepting it. Otherwise, if it was empty, or if they has same value, this dot tile dot value is equals to tile dot value. If they has same value, let me get any two same values. Oh, I don't getting. Yeah, here you can see, right? There are four, both are same values. If you merge them, it is accepting. So this is how it works. If a tile was null, or if it has same value and it was not a merge tile, means already merge was not occurred. For example, let me see, if we merge 4 and 4, it will become 8, and here also there is an 8. there's a chance if I merge 8 with 8, it may become as a single tile. So we are not going to happen this. If it was not already a merged tile and both values are equal, then only it was able to accept it. See, 4 4 we are merging it, 8 8 8 8 not merged because of this condition. So next let me go to the script.js. Let me open it, our document, our project. See, now I'm moving. Now let me refresh it. Yeah, let me create it for, we only created for move up function. Now let me create it for all other things like move down, move left and move right. Let me do it. We have to create these functions. So let me, yeah, for here it is move down, it is move left, it is move right. Okay, see, move up and move down both are reverse functions. Now I am going to reverse it. For that I am going to use dot map of column, create a function dot column comma reverse. Yeah, that's it. For this move left and move right, we are going to see when we are moving, these rows are changing. See, we are moving along the rows. When we are moving left or right, we are moving along the rows. So we are going to use here cells by rows. For move left, sorry, it's just a row. Here we are going to reverse it, the same thing that we done here. Let me copy it and paste it here. Here we are doing it to row, not column. Okay, now we have to create cells by row. So let me go into the grid.js. Here here we are going to create cells by row. For this there is a simple trick. We will copy it and paste it here. Columns by row, we are going to change it, and we are changing the all x and y positions here, guys. See, if here we have x means we are going to put y. Here also there is an x, we are going to put y. If it is y means we are going to put x. That's it. So it's an array, we have to give it an array symbol. This one also is an array, cell by row and cell by column, both are arrays. Okay, now let's get into the script.js. Let me run it once. Refresh it. Let me run it. It's not moving. Let me inspect here. Oh, there are errors. get into the console. What is the error? Oh, yeah. Oh, looks like I put comma here instead of dot. Oh, and also I have error here. It is cell by row, not a column. Okay. Next what? Here did I have any mistakes? Yeah, looks like I had a mistake here. Last valid cell dot tile. That's it, I'm good to go. Let me check it once. Let me refresh it. Let me try to move it. Yeah, you can see here it was moving. Let me refresh it once again. Let me check it. See, we are able to move them. See, we are able to move them, but they are not merging. See, we are able to move them, but they are not able to merge because we have still lot of work to do. We just came halfway down. Okay, let's build it. As you can see, these slides are not merging, so let's first merge them. For that, first we have to do an extra code here. Let me create grid dot cells dot for each cell dot merge tiles. So I need to create this merge tiles function. Let me get into the grid.js and I will create my merge tile function here. Let me create it. Merge tiles. Here if this dot tile is equals to null, and this dot merge tile equals to null, we just simply return, we don't do anything. See guys, if the tile is null or if the merge tile is null, we are not gonna merge it, so we don't need to merge it. Now if otherwise this dot tile is equals to this dot tile value is equals to if both tiles are equal means we are gonna add them. Plus this dot merge tile. So if both tiles are equal means we are gonna add them. Next we are gonna remove that merge tile. For suppose see here 4 is there, right? Means here we're gonna add them. This it will become 8. Then there are 2 4s. We are gonna remove another 4 here. For that one we have to do this dot merge tile dot remove, then finally this dot merge tile equals to null. Okay, now let's, sorry, it was small letters, remove. Okay, now let's get into the tile.js. Here we're gonna add this remove function here. This remove function we are gonna create here. It's just simple, remove this dot tile element dot remove. That's it. Now we are gonna check this one. Let me refresh it. Okay, sorry, let me get two same tiles. Oh, again we are not gonna, oh no. Yeah, we get two same tiles. Let me merge them. Okay, let me try. Looks like we have an error. Let me go to console so that we can get to know what's the error. Console, so here is an error. There is an error at merge tile value. Oh, here I given 3 equals to. Okay, let me get there. Where? Ah, yeah. Okay, it was fixed. Let me refresh it and try again. Let me move it. Yeah, it was moving. Nice. Let me try again. Yeah, it was moving. Nice. But little kind of animation is not working. They are like just jumping. We need animation stuff. Okay, let's go for script.js. Try to bring some animation stuff here. Okay, let me add await here so that it will wait until the completion. Await, let's make this function as async function. Okay, now it's okay. Now let's get into this return tiles slide tiles function. Here we can give return promise all. This is for creating animation stuff. Let me keep it total here, and I will change this for cells.forEach to flat each. This flat each creates a one-dimension array, guys. Next I'm going to create, yeah, here I'm gonna return promises. And also I'm gonna push here. I'm gonna promises dot push cell dot tile dot wait for transition. Yeah, that's it. Promises dot push cell dot tile dot wait for transition. Okay, here we need to create promises array. Const promises. We pushed before creating an array, sorry for the mistake. Let's get into tile.js, and here we need to code for this wait for transition function. We are gonna create wait for transition here. Gonna return new promise resolve this dot hashtag tile element dot add event listener transition end now type resolve comma, here we're gonna give it once true. So we are gonna wait for another input. Okay, that's it. Now let's get into the script.js. Here we're gonna give a new tile here. Const new tile is equals to new tile of board game. Create dot random empty cell. We're gonna generate a random empty cell after every input. Tile is equals to new tile. Okay, that's it. Let's check it. See, we are generating a new tile after every step. But you have to observe one thing. See, when we are moving down, tiles are not moving, but there is a new tile was generating. So we have to stop this. For this we need to add a thing, that was we're gonna create here if cannot move, that means if not move up, we are gonna set up input and return nothing. Same thing we are gonna do it these three places. Here in arrow down, control V. Here also same thing we need to do. So yeah, we need to change it. Can move down. Here it is. We forgot to give it here. It is not can move left. It is not can move right. Now we need to create functions for this one. Let's go and create function can move up. For this we're gonna return can move grid dot cells by column. Same thing that we do in move up, but here we're gonna use another function can move up. Okay, let me create another function can move. Sorry, it's can move function can move. We're gonna pass cells here, return cells dot sum of group. Return group dot sum of cell comma index. So if here we are checking whether we can able to move the cells or not. There's a typing mistake here. If index is 0, then we're gonna return false. If cell dot tile is equals to null, then also we're gonna return false. Const move to cell is equals to group of index minus 1. Then we're gonna return move to cell can accept can accept cell dot tile. Okay, now we are gonna create a function for can move down, can move left and can move right. Let me copy it 3 times. Enter, enter, enter. This can move down, can move left, this can move right. Yeah, now for can move down we are gonna copy it from move down, same thing that we done there. Let me copy and paste here. That's it. Here it is rows, cells by row, because it is can move left and right. It is also can move row. That's it. We are going to copy it from here, from move right to can move right. Okay, that's it. Now we are gonna create a condition here. What is the condition for losing a game? If we can't able to move any direction, then we lost the game. That's it. If we can't move down, or if we can't move up, and if we can't move left, and if we can't move right. So if this condition occurs, means we're gonna create a new tile, wait for transition. If it's true, then we are gonna alert you lose. And finally we return. And also here we need to do some changes in tile.js wait for transition function, guys. Let me change it. We are gonna pass animation is equals to false. Means if animation doesn't occur, then we are gonna change in resolve. Here we're gonna change if animation occur, means we're gonna take it as animation end. Otherwise it was transition end. Okay guys, that's it. Looks like our project was ready. Let me check it. I'm trying to lose here so that I can see my alert message. Let me lose. Yeah, this is, guys, our game was finished. This is our final project. Thank you guys. Meet you soon with a new project in my next video. Thank you all.